Good morning, Daze with Jordan the Lion. This is Jordan, that's Jaw, and Jaw's wagging tail. We're going to get this thing started early today. I want to take him out to the park, and I have I've been listening to a lot of Elliot Smith the last couple of days for some reason. It just popped into my head. I really wanted to re-listen to all the good stuff, and man, it just made me really emotional. Really miss that guy, and since he had a lot of years living in Silver Lake in Los Angeles, I'm going to go show you guys one of his houses today. And it's a pretty, not a house, it's like an apartment, but it's a pretty interesting story behind this place. It's called the Snow White Cottages. This ought to be a blast. I've actually never seen it. I've read about it, and when I met Elliot years and years ago, he gave me that address as a contact information to send him something. So I know this is the address, and this ought to be a lot of fun. If you don't know Elliot Smith, you will after this, or you'll at least want to go check him out. He's mad. It's not all about him. Ja, look up. Ja, say hi. Say hi. Ja. Thanks. Well, today we're at a place called the Snow White Cottages. Snow White Cottages are pretty famous because, for one thing, they've been used in the movie Mulholland Drive by David Lynch. These were actually known as the Sierra Bonita Apartments in his movie. I'll try and throw in a few pictures from the movie. But also, the late great Elliot Smith lived here. Which was right there. I happen to know that actually is true for sure, because what happened was, I guess 2002, my upstairs neighbor was in film school and made a short film for one of his film projects, and he asked me, because since he lived right above me, he could hear my music playing all the time and love my music, and he said, will you score my movie? Like, will you pick some songs and try and get the rights for them? And I was like, that's going to be impossible. But I had met Elliot Smith about a weekend before. And, I'd met him a week before, and then I met him at City Walk. And I'll tell you guys that story in a few days when I do Elliot Smith's death vlog. But I met Elliot Smith, and we kind of hit it off. We talked for about an hour, and he gave me a contact information for his girlfriend. So that we could keep in touch, because I'd given him some of my music and I just wanted to hear what he thought of it and everything. And we decided we wanted to use some of Elliot's music for the student film that we were doing. And when I emailed his girlfriend back then, she said, sure, but Elliot wants to see it first. As long as you're not going to profit off of it and he likes it, he'll let you do it. So we went ahead and mailed him the music, and this was the address he gave me. And about a week later, his girlfriend got back and said, we watched what you're using Elliot's 2 songs for, and we love it. You're totally okay to use it. Now, the third thing that's interesting about this, actually there's a ton interesting about this place, but the third thing is that this was built in 1930, and originally the Snow White Cottages were all pink. They've been repainted white, kind of because the lady who owns it and bought it in the 70s was having trouble getting insurance for some reason, and so she went ahead and repainted it. But in the 1930 this was built, and in 1937 Snow White was made. One of the animators from Snow White lived here, and if you look at this, it seems pretty eerie how similar Snow White's cottage from the cartoon is from this little shot right here. And in fact, look at that gate. Pretty interesting, huh? So, that's the story of the Snow White connection here. But the woman who owns it has owned it and rented it out since the 70s. And there's a famous article, because what she did was she rented 2 cottages here to Elliot Smith, and actually put a hole in his ceiling of one of them and attached a spiral staircase that went upstairs to the second cottage, which was known as his attic cottage, and he had an illegal clawfoot bathtub up there that she put in there, and a full bathroom, and never got the permission of the city, never got any permits for it. So when the city came to check it out, they of course told her that you couldn't do it, and she said it's always been like that. She said any rule that they have that she's broken multiple times, so she seems to have a sense of humor about it. So anyway, when Elliot moved out, she patched up the hole, took out the staircase, but the person that lives there now says that the clawfoot bathtub is still up there. Now this is the apartment building that Elliot lived in when he wrote the album Figure 8. And some interesting stories. I mean, that whole album is very LA. In fact, some of the songs are called LA. There might have been a song or two from XO written here, but I don't think so, mainly because he was kind of mostly living in Portland and living in New York for a short time in the Village, so I think he wrote most of XO when he was there. But I'm going to go across the street and show you a little bit more. They now have a gate up. When they filmed Mulholland Drive, that gate was not there, so you could actually just walk right in. But that would have been Elliot's place. He had 2906 and had it attached. Apparently there's an attic up there, and also I'm pretty sure that that apartment right there was the one they used for Mulholland Drive. So some more interesting facts about this place that I absolutely just find totally entertaining is that, like I told you guys, the woman who owns it seems to find humor in breaking all the rules. And like I said, one of them was that she had illegally put that hole in the ceiling and put the spiral staircase in there for Elliot. And they said that Elliot always had a no trespassing sign on his front door to keep out the building inspectors, which I think is really great. And I'm such a huge Elliot Smith fan. So one of the other stories about this place is that she tried to get this place insured, and the insurance company that she was trying to go through would not insure it. What they said was that the roof that she had here was not up to code, and they were gonna, I guess, make her redo all the roofs. And this place is pretty deep. I mean, it goes pretty far back in. You can even see like a walkway back there. There's cottages even back beyond there. So anyway, as she's trying to fight through all this red tape and try and get insured, she gets a call from the president of the company who says that he was reviewing her case, and he actually grew up in this neighborhood and watched the men build this place, and said that he personally saw the roofers hand cutting and singeing each shingle on, and said that because he knows that that's how it was done, he was willing to insure it for her. So this place is actually insured thanks to that kind of odd fact. Now, another kind of crazy thing is that when I told you, you know, that the animator from Disney lived here in 1937, or around that time, because Snow White was made in 37. If you can see straight down this sidewalk, and you see that yellow kind of like billboard thing that person's standing in front of, right there is actually where old Disney Animation was when we went there, and it's now at Gelson's. So this was less than a block away from Disney Animation. It completely makes sense this would have been the inspiration for Snow White. I'd actually really love to live here. I looked up what the prices were, and it says up till about a year ago, she was only asking $1,850 for a one bedroom, which for Los Angeles, that's pretty standard. I mean, nowadays anyway, especially in this neighborhood, so not too unfair. And they said at one point she converted 2 of these to condos and tried to sell them, and nobody ever wanted to buy them. Take a look at that. Look at all the detail, like the little brick in the side and stuff. That's totally Snow White's cottage. Who would have ever guessed that this was actually based off of a real story, or off of a real place? And it also completely amazes me that some of my favorite songs and some of the best songs of my lifetime were written here. My very first introduction to Elliot Smith was actually, people had told me, oh, you got to check out Elliot Smith, you'll love him, you'll love him. And then I went to a used record store, found one of his records. Actually, it was XO. I bought XO, and my reaction to it was when I first heard his voice, I was just like, nobody has ever had a more perfect voice. And I really still feel like he just had one of the most angelic, beautiful voices of all time. And I was hooked from then on. I loved every record he ever did, even when he was in Heat Miser. And if you're ever looking for something new to check out, someone with a beautiful voice, beautiful lyrics, sad and solemn, but beautiful, go listen to anything by Elliot Smith. I would personally recommend either or, and XO as my favorites. Here's kind of a side view, so you can get kind of a better idea of what it looks like. It's crazy, I've lived in this neighborhood, and I've hiked and stuff through here numerous times. Look at that door. And I never knew the story behind this place. Never even went down here and seen it. Dog park Daze. We're here. He's over there peeing on everything again. Oh, nope, more than peeing this time. I have to work pretty much all day tomorrow, so I'm gonna make an extra special trip, and that's gonna be our trip for tomorrow. So, if you see me wearing this shirt in tomorrow's vlog, you'll know why. Just don't want to give you guys nothing, you know, when I have to work an 8-hour day. I don't want to give you nothing. Well, these are peppered all over the neighborhood, everywhere that I normally park, so unfortunately, I had to already grab a parking space when street cleaning let up of a place that you can park, and I'm gonna go take the train today. I mean, I really didn't have anything to do, and I just kind of felt like going out and exploring, and since I've never really taken the Gold Line, I'm gonna take the Gold Line to Pasadena. Go get some Buca de Beppo and just go explore, have fun. Had so much coffee today, my hands are actually jittery. As I'm walking, I feel like I'm like having a massive adrenaline rush. Ooh. It's gonna be hard sitting on a train for half an hour till my changeover. Some idiots in here riding his bicycle, waiting for the train.
The train to Union Station is
doing laps.
Please stand back from the edge of
This is Union Station. That bird's just chilling. Falcon. That actually looks like my kind of store, but I want to go eat. I'm starving. Documentaries. Oh yeah, totally my kind of place. Here by the Women's Improvement Association, 1906. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm guessing this would have been it. Dun, dun, dun. I found a lawn bowling and croquet course. You don't see those everywhere, or anywhere. Well, I'm in Old Town Pasadena, and I'm gonna hit Buca de Beppo. get something to eat. Probably actually just gonna take it home because I've been out for a while and just kind of roaming around and stuff, and yeah, I've lost my appetite, but I'm still hungry. It's one of those weird things, like if I sat down to eat now, I'd take 3 bites and I'd be done. So get it to go, and I'll eat it when I get home. Wow, look at that place. Wow. Only one word to describe that place. Neato. Here's a side view. Amazing. As I walked by that guy playing the violin, I noticed that he actually doesn't know how to play the violin at all. He was hitting random notes. I think he was just hoping that people would think he could play, and he was collecting change, which in and of itself is more genius than even actually knowing how to play. All right, I made it. I think I'm gonna go in the candy store across the street first because they sell Roddy Piper's cola. I want to show you guys that. Oh no, this used to be it. It's gone. I'll have to go to a different location. Yeah, I always kind of figured that was probably a bad spot for it. Every time I come here, never saw anybody in there but me. It's too bad. It's called Rocket Fizz. Cool. The outdoor seating. And I'm set. The last of my last gift card is now used. Peace out, Pasadena. I'm out of here. Wow. I thought I was out of here until I saw that sucker. Old-timey fire station. Or I mean, old-timey fire truck. And if you're having second thoughts, okay, I've never been to this place, this luggage room, but somebody referred me to it years ago. Swore it was the best pizza they ever had, so someday I'm gonna come back and try it. Now I know where it's at. Stop home. I'm back! And there he is! Vlog over!